Welcome to Vanna's Cheapo Depot. I don't really know why I made that sound. We're playing another visual novel today called Dark Roast Romance. Mmm. I'm just very giggly today. You've never been a huge fan of coffee. It's way too bitter. If you're going to add copious amounts of milk and sugar, then why drink coffee anyway? That is an extremely good point. Not to mention the way the liquid sits on your taste buds, the absolute worst. Here you are, sitting in the last place you'd ever be, a coffee shop, waiting on your date to show up. He was the one to recommend the place, claiming that it had some of the best coffee he'd ever tasted. It'll make you start liking coffee, I promise. You move to take another spiteful sip from your cup, just to prove your point to no one but yourself. Bullshit. He's already 15 minutes late. You aren't sure how much longer you should wait before finally declaring that you've been stood up. You fish around in your bag for your phone, intent on opening the dating app you met the guy on. Wouldn't you hate sending multiple texts at once? Your time is valuable as well. Quite frankly, it's being wasted. With the app open, your eyes jump to the names at the top of your share chat. What does your name say? Oh, I get to name myself. I need to turn the caps lock sound off. God damn it. This is my name. Josh and Vanna. Except it's only Vanna right now. Hey, I'm here. I can order for you if you want. He's still not responding. He hasn't even read the messages yet. Hello, did something happen? I'll be here for another 5 minutes, then I'm leaving. You don't even attempt to mask the grimace on your face. Idly, you take another drink. Now it's cold and bitter. You can relate. Coffee has always confused me, and I feel like I'm. What is that? What is the words on the tip of my tongue? I feel like I'm finally being justified here or something. I don't know what the word is. I've been speaking English for my entire life, and it's the only language I know, and yet I'm still very bad at it because English is not a language. It's 5 languages in a trench coat attempting to sneak into an R-rated movie. Anyways, my, is the coffee that bad? Yes. Playful voice asks. Your head snaps up, thinking it's your previously MIA date. It is indeed not. The pictures you've seen of him don't match this stranger at all. The man takes a seat across from you before you can even say anything in return. Good day. I sincerely hope I haven't taken someone else's place. What? No. Stop. No, you haven't. Can I ask why you decided to stay here? Oops. You hope that didn't come off too rude. You were genuinely curious, though. Truthfully, I'd like to ask you the same thing. Your brow quirks. I'm waiting on someone I'd rather not tell a stranger. I was waiting for someone. Oh, was it a date, perhaps? How do you... The man's head bobs lazily in your direction. Your appearance says it all, you know. You're dressed immaculately. Anyone would assume you would have a date, my dear. Not like the asshole showed up, though. Anyways, you think I have a date. Why are you still sitting here, mister? His smile widens. Saurus. Or is it Surus? Saurus, fuck. Sour is. Oh, you suppose it's only polite to give your name a return, even if it's clear this guy's just flirting. I'm Vanna. His smile takes on a more seductive edge. It is lovely to meet you, darling. Cyrus then leans in closer, indicating his eagerness to continue conversing. Now tell me, Vanna, where is this date of yours? If I knew, do you think I'd be sitting here? Bitch, there must be a fool to keep a woman like you waiting. I could be waiting on a friend, you know. With such an irate expression on your pretty face. What, is it irate or irate? With such an irate expression on your pretty face? I'm gonna go to Wiktionary after this, and I'm gonna answer this question that no one's asking but me.
Irate.
I doubt it. Were you grimacing that hard? Probably. Defeated and tired of continuing the debate, you decide to confirm his assumption. Well, the date I was waiting for must have had better things to do. Haven't heard from him since yesterday when he invited me out. A pinch forms in between Cyrus's furrowed brows of your words. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but hey, at least you remember the grammar rule of of a word ending in S not having an apostrophe, and it's like, you know what rule I'm talking about. I just can't describe it. Well, while English may be the language with the least rules, it's certainly the language with the most exceptions to those rules. So not only did he stand you up and waste your time, but he also didn't even have the decency to cancel. You scratched your cheek as a sour chuckle spills from your lips. Sounds like you've pieced it all together. Sora sighs. The same kind of sigh a disappointed parent would give. Well, it seems like you truly do need my assistance then. The expression on your face asks the question before your mouth does. What do you mean? Allow me to reintroduce myself first. My name is Surus, and I'm a wish granter sent to Earth to help the little humans in need. And you, my dear. Soros pauses dramatically, make a show of checking you out despite his closed eyelids. Suddenly extremely conscious of your outfit. Are very much in need. You squint your eyes at him. Okay, so let's say I actually believe you. What makes you think you can help me? I'd say I'm quite qualified to do so, as it is literally my purpose in life. Soros then puffs his chest out a bit, clearly preening. Whatever it is you want, I can grant it for you. Fame, fortune, fantasies, falafel. 4 things I've never had in my life. Even love. His golden irises seemed to glow as they bore into you, setting off a series of shivers throughout your body. You swallow. And what would I owe you in your return if I accepted your help? Sora's smile fills you with an emotion you can't exactly place at the moment. Recompense would become at a later date, my dear. For now, your wants and needs are far more important. You frown. That doesn't exactly answer my question, Surus. The mysterious man waves a hand around dismissively. I can understand your hesitance, dear Vanna, but please know that it is completely misplaced. As a wish granter, I have nothing but your best interests at heart. He says, placing a hand over where his heart would be. If he had one. You can't expect me to just take your word for it, right? We literally met today. And first impressions haven't been the strongest, you know. How about this? I'll grant you a wish right now, something small and free of change in order to gain your trust. If you aren't satisfied, then I'll take my leave and you won't see me again. How does that sound? Not bad at all, if you're being honest. You heard free, and that was more than enough. Alright then. Soros perks up at your answer. Something small, right? You take a moment to think. Eyes slowly roaming over the little cafe to help you with that wish ideas. Eventually, your eyes settle on your now cold and very disappointing cup of coffee. Couldn't hurt to test his self-proclaimed wish-granting prowess on it, right? As a reminder, you begrudgingly take another quick sip. Yep. Still tastes like cold, soggy dirt. Sora's head tilts a bit, curiosity leaking from his posture. I want you to make this coffee taste good. Like, extremely good. He pauses. Is that your wish? It's small, so it should be pretty easy to grant, right, Mr. Wish Granter? Of course. He rubs at his chin pensively for a moment. But are you sure you don't want to use a free one, something a little bit more impactful? You shake your head, then gesture toward your cup. Now, I'll save impactful for after you've shown me what you can do. Make my coffee drinkable, please. Soros nods once, chuckling. Your wish is my command, my dear. Close your eyes for me. You snort. What are you, a magician? Do you want tasty coffee or not, Vanna? Okay, fine. I just need a moment to breathe, because, like, I read that so fast. You may open them now. That was fast. You peer down your cup, quickly noting the billows of steam rising from the liquid within. Skepticism brews in your chest. You're not exactly sure what he could have done to accomplish such a thing. You didn't hear him get up from his seat or move for that matter. Even with your eyes closed, you could tell that much. So how... Well, have a drink, darling. I'm confident it will be beyond your standards. Alright. Still a bit hesitant, you raise the cup to your lips slowly. You then blow a few times, redirecting the pillars of steam towards Tourist, who is just smiling away. Once most of the steam is cleared from your eyes, you take a tentative sip. Tourist leans back in his chair, looking much too smug for your liking. Your expression speaks volumes, my dear. Still, I would love to hear what you think. How does it taste? It tastes good. Tourist chuckles. Good enough to make you want to finish the entire cup? You pout. Yes. Satisfied, Tourist folds his arms again. I assume we're on the same page now, then. You nod slowly, taking longer sips from your cup. The seemingly perpetual smile on his face grows a touch. Lovely. So what would you like your first genuine wish to be? You put your cup down for a moment, licking your lips. Wait, so are you like a genie? Did I miss something? Is this the back button? No. Alright, so wait, so you're like a genie? Do I only get 3 wishes? Thursday said no. Wish granters are quite different from the genie stereotypes of humans I've come up with. First of all, we may grant as many wishes as we, our clients, see fit. As long as they are willing to pay, we are willing to grant. As well, there are no word semantics when it comes to wish granting. That's my least favorite part about genies. You wish to jump high, he turns you into a frog. Who gains from this? Legitimately. Who gains from this? The genie? Before granting any wish, we always ask our clients to specify what they truly want, lest we misinterpret their wish, thus granting them something they had no desire for. It wouldn't be fair, especially since these wishes aren't exactly free. Yeah, speaking of that, you still haven't told me what I owe you. Should I take you up on this whole wish granting thing? Cyrus taps a thoughtful finger against his chin for a moment. Well, would you owe? Well, what you would owe me is entirely up to my own discretion, as it would be with any wish granter. However, most wish granters are willing to work for their clients to find their optimal form of payment. So what do you accept as payment? I've accepted many things as payment before, like food, years of my client's life, their soul, sex. You decided to ignore that last one for the one favorite facts about the first food, so you're giving someone $1 million. You've given someone $1 million for a cheeseburger before? Sir tilted his head with a short laugh, holding out a sound akin to soft chimes. Haha, I love that is your first question, truly. But to put it simply, yes. Wish granters are all different in terms of what they will and won't accept. Personally, it just depends on my mood. Sturris laughs again. I can't remember the exact wish. I would need to consult my journal for that information. However, I do recall being quite taken with the idea of trying human food, so I asked my client, who was a renowned chef, to make me their best dish. It was very delicious. So what would you want from me? Sturris wastes no time firing your inquiry right back at you. What would you be willing to give me? Hold on. I still haven't said what it is I even want. Sturris' brows lift. I would have assumed we already closed the book on that. Is romance not what you're looking for, dear Vanna? Your mentioned being stood up, correct? If you want, I can bring your date to you. He doesn't even try to keep the evident disgust out of his tone. I can get rid of him, or I could find you a soulmate. Which of these 3 options appeal to you the most? Reflexively, you scrunch your nose up. The first 2 options sound awful, and the last one sounds too good to be true, if I'm being honest. Not at all. If it is what you wish, then I can do it for you. As I said earlier, that is literally the whole point to my existence. Cheers! I'll drink to that! I love it when soda goes down the wrong pipe. This, I don't know. It kind of feels a bit cheaty, you know? Cyrus tilts his head. Not sure I do. You huff. It's like I don't want someone to love me just because you made them. You understand? Cyrus nods solemnly. Solemnly. I see. Then you would prefer something more organic. Yeah, exactly. How do I keep doing this? What was that? What was that sound that just came out of my lips? You want something that feels real? Yep, you got it. You want a man who is attracted to you of his own volition? You hit the nail on the head. Lovely, then it seems like we are once again on the same page. Fortunately for you, my dear, your wish has already been granted. What do you... Thirst gestures to himself. Everything you just asked for I could give you, personally. Wait, what? Your brain is lagging a bit. Is he implying you want something that is genuine? You want a man who is attracted to you of his own volition? I can provide you with all these things that have very much attracted you, dear Vanna. Cersei's tone betrays his seriousness. Regardless, you're still working to come to terms with it all. But how? I mean, you just met me. You can't possibly... Haha, I'm not blind, darling. One would have to not only be lacking in sight, but intelligence as well to find you unattractive. If I have not made my attraction to you quite clear, I could keep telling you how much I... No, there's really no need for that. You cut him off before you can say anything else embarrassing. Regardless, me being attracted to you certainly isn't the issue. If you aren't attracted to me, we could find another use for your wish. Hold up a second, I didn't say all that. So you are attracted to me then. Walked right into that one. I mean, one would have to not only be lacking in sight, you sassed, poorly imitating Source's voice. He laughs, mirth crinkling his closed eyes. You can't help but smile, too. Anyway, I truly think it would be such a shame to let you leave here empty-handed and unsatisfied. Therefore, I want to make a proposal, dear Vanna. What is it? Allow me to be the stand-in for your missing date. We can completely override this mediocre experience with one much more enjoyable. What do you say? What do you get out of this? Sounds good. Fuck it. Sounds good. Actually, that sounds a lot better than what I originally had planned. What did you have planned? You snort. I was gonna head home, eat some junk food, and doom scroll until I fell asleep. What's with the personal attacks? Did I do something? Did I hurt you? I hate being congested. Oh. Source doesn't look like he's judging you, but he does look a little concerned. That doesn't sound like a bad way to de-stress if we didn't take the current circumstances into consideration. I'm glad I approached you, Vanna. You return his smile. Me too. You've definitely made today much better than it should have been. Well, I would like to make it even better. Perhaps we just head to a place you genuinely want to be in first. Where would you like to go, dear Vanna? The park, a restaurant, the library. I want to go to the park. But we head to the park. It's been a while since I've been able to enjoy nature. A walk in the park sounds lovely, Vanna. Are there any parks around here that you favor? Not necessarily. As long as it looks pretty and has decent views, I think it should be fine. And I'm leaving our destination in your hands, my dear. Before we head out, allow me to pay for your coffee first. I didn't even finish it, though. Plus, you shouldn't have to pay for something you didn't even order. Yes, but shouldn't the person who set up a date be the one to pay for everything? I don't know about that. I guess it depends on who you ask. If you ask me, then yes. Also, I only want you to have good memories when you look back on today. You laugh. You're spoiling me, Cirrus. A well-meaning smirk plays at his lips. I haven't done enough to constitute as spoiling yet, darling. Paying for your drinks is the least I can do. Cirrus stands up before he can say anything else in opposition. Again, spoiling. You call after him in a light-hearted tone. Once your drink is paid for, the two of you leave the coffee shop side by side. Fortunately, the local park you have in mind is only a 5-minute walk from the cafe. You and Sir stand out quite a bit once you enter the park. You're both dressed nicely as if you've just come straight out of a fashion magazine. Needless to say, your outfit earns you a few glances and double takes. Cyrus, who seems to be used to the attention, pays them no mind. You must have a lot of fans, huh? Being a wish granter and all. I wouldn't exactly call them fans. Groupies? They don't actually sound famous. I mean, aren't you? Cyrus does have the well-meaning chuckle bubbling out. Have you ever heard of me or a wish granter before today, Vanna? Well, no, but that doesn't mean you can't be famous, you know. There's tons of celebrities and majority of people never heard before. Cyrus rubs his chin thoughtfully. Point taken. But no, I'm not famous at all. Wish granters are supposed to wipe the memories of their clients when their work is finished, actually. So the likelihood of me becoming famous is quite low. Really, why is that? Cyrus gives a light shrug. That's a stipulation in our contracts. Though, between me and you, he leans in a bit closer. I don't... What? I don't always follow the guidelines of my contracts. You must be a hellish employee, Service. Haha, something like that, yeah. Actually, I'm pretty curious about this whole wish granting business. Surely wouldn't mind answering a few questions, right? So what's it like being a wish granter? Do you get benefits? Yeah, do you get dental? Do you get dental? Service hides a snicker behind his hand. No, nothing like that, I'm afraid. Wish granters aren't humans, so we don't require the same things you do, such as food, water, shelter, or health insurance. You scoff, Lucky. Cyrus playfully bumps you with his shoulder. Thus, it is a wish granter's job to make your lives easier, as they are quite difficult as is. I'd say my job is very fulfilling. I enjoy watching a person's wishes come true. Well, as long as they're deserving of such a thing, how do you pick your clients, Cyrus? It varies from wish granter to wish granter. Some are willing to grant any and every person's wish, no matter their backgrounds or personalities. Me personally, Sir scrunches up his nose, a look of irritation passing over his face for a split second. I refuse to grant the wishes of distasteful humans. Distasteful? Do you mean like bad people? Well, bad is subjective depending on who you talk to. But in short, yes, I have a strong dislike of humans who trample over others uncaring of anyone but themselves. Self-important humans are the worst. I assume you run into a lot of humans like that, huh? Sir scoffs bitterly. Too much for my liking. So what do you do when someone like that asks for your wish granting services? Humans never ask for a service. We're the ones who seek out those who are in need of wish to grant it. Well, only after serving the thing do we realize what kind of person we're dealing with. From there, the wish granter can decide if they want to reach out and make contact or not. I try to avoid those kinds of people as much as I possibly can. Have you ever granted a wish from a person you didn't like? Sarah's mouth falls a touch. Yes, once. But that's a fairly dreary story, not quite befitting such a lovely day. Don't you agree? Cyrus holds it out for you to take. You do what? Cyrus holds his hand out for you to take. You do, even though you're still curious about his story. You decide to ask him some other time. You and Source walk through the entire park, chatting idly and enjoying the light breeze. Eventually, you reach a cluster of rose bushes and stop to admire them. I wonder if they have a gardener come out and tend to these often. They look so fresh. I wish we could take one or two without getting in trouble. You say absentmindedly, gazing at the crimson flowers. Wish, you say. You turn towards Surus. Surus, what are you doing? We can't pick those. The wish granter twirls the rose around in his fingers with a fuck. I've been speaking constantly for like what the past. Hold on, let me check. 20 minutes. I'm starting to get a little bit lightheaded. The wish granter twirls the rose around in between his fingers with a wide smile on his lips. You wish for one or two, right? That's an easy wish, Vanna. You damn near facepalm. No, I was gone. I was just talking. I didn't want you to grant anything. Serge just keeps on smiling. Oh, silly me. I had no idea. I should have asked for clarification first, my dear. Well, let's just consider this another freebie, hmm? You squint your eyes at him. He knew exactly what he was doing before he did it. Well, since I've already plucked this lone rose, he approaches you and smoothly slides the flower behind your ear. It should enjoy the company of another flower at the very least. This guy's smooth. That was smooth. You turn away from him before he can see the look on your face. You're so cheesy, Cirrus. He laughs. You don't dislike it, though, do you? I didn't say that. You grumble your response. Cirrus attempts and fails to express another chuckle. I wonder if you have any idea just how cute you are, Vanna. You don't have to flatter me, you know. I'm already your client, Cirrus. I've already told you that whether or not you're my client is irrelevant to how I feel about you. You raise an eyebrow. You speak with a lot of finality for a guy who just met me. Cirrus just shrugs. I'd like to believe I have a pretty good grasp on the things I like, Vanna. You decide to backtrack a bit, hoping to defend him in some way. Sorry, I'm not downing you or anything. It's just he shakes his head, a good-natured smile playing on his lips. You don't have to apologize for anything. I understand. Thank you, Cirrus. Of course, Vanna. Would you like to head back now? I can walk you home. Sure. I think I've got enough fresh air to last me for another week or so. You don't get out much, do you? Depends on my mood. And the weather, of course. I see. Then what's your favorite season for outings, my dear? Spring. Actually, you know what? It's probably autumn. Because, like, winter's too cold, summer's too hot, and spring activates my allergies. For like the 9 days we get autumn in where I live, I'm like, this isn't half bad. I think fall is my favorite season. It's a perfect balance when it comes to temperature and things to do. Leaves turning different colors is always nice to see. Ah, great minds think alike. Autumn is my favorite season, too. Oh, really? Indeed, which further solidifies the fact that I should take you on more dates. You laugh. For some reason, I feel like even if we didn't have that in common, you'd still take me out. And you'd be correct, my dear. Cyrus takes your hand in his once more, leading you toward the park's exit with a gentle smile on his face. The walk home was pretty uneventful. The topics are trivial, ranging from food to enjoy, animals you like, and whether or not you think a zombie apocalypse is survivable. Pretty trivial. When you're about a block from your place, you stop walking. Cyrus stops too, and you turn to face each other. My house is just around the corner, so I can make it from here. That's good to hear. Cyrus? Yes, Vanna? Thank you for walking me home. And for taking me out, too. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Could I make a wish now? Of course. And I want to see you again. What kind of pin would you want for granting this wish? Cyrus pretends to mull over your words, rubbing his chin. I think 5 kisses would suffice, for now. Isn't that a bit excessive, Mr. Wish Granter? I actually gave you a discount, so I was going to ask for 10. You managed to control the large, goofy grin on your face to give Cyrus his payment properly. You start by kissing both sides of his face, his forehead, his nose, and finally his lips. When you're finished, Cyrus chuckles. You are absolutely adorable. Did you know that? I will seriously ask for 10 next time. You smile, feeling your cheeks begin to ache. It's been a while since you felt such a thing. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good night, Vanna. Because of you, I actually will. Cyrus takes your hand and places a slow kiss to the back of it. As he lets her hand go, he suddenly presses his fingers to his lips. It's like he's committing the feeling of yours against his to memory. The expression of his face makes you feel hot, and you find yourself unable to move for a second. You swallow. How will I get in contact with you again? Not to worry, I'll always know when you need me. but if you'd rather be able to call me instead, I can do that as well. Yeah, that's cool too. After you exchange numbers, you give him a bashful smile. Good night, Soros. Good night, my dear. Once Soros turns around and starts back the way you came, you turn as well and begin your walk around the block. Absent-mindedly, reach for your phone again and check the time. The thought you have stored in the back of your head suddenly comes to the forefront. You have an app to delete. The dating app. Ending 1. A lovely date. So wait, is there one where we piss him off? I want to piss him off! Alright, hold on. So the itch page did say that this had, like, 2 endings. 2 endings, but 3 routes, oddly enough. Which is kind of weird. So, what's this button? Oh, it's an album. Image 2 of 2 locked. Alright, well. So I don't think that's any of your business. The same smile splashed on the man's face. I guess my apologies. I do suppose that was a little too forward of me. I haven't even told you my name yet. That's not what I... My name is Sturvis. Well, you're supposed to only polite to give you your name in return. Even he is a bit pushy. I'm Vanna. The smile is now taking on a more seductive edge, filling you with more curiosity. You being picked up right now? I was hoping to meet you, darling. Sturvis then leans in closer, indicating his eagerness to continue conversing. Now tell me, Vanna, why hasn't your date shown yet? They must be a fool to keep a woman like you waiting. I could be waiting on a friend, you know. It's an irate express. This is just what I read last time, so... Can I just... alright, I think this is where the paths branch. What do you get out of this? Maybe we've established our mutual attraction and all, but I'm still wondering what you could possibly get out of this, Sturris. Well, aside from my client, I suppose, Sturris is Burrow Furrows. While I do value my job as a wish granter, that isn't the only interest I have. Some things I do are out of pure self-fulfillment. And dating me would be fulfilling to you? Exactly. Not what I would expect from a self-proclaimed wish granter, honestly. You laugh wryly. What would you expect from a wish granter then? I don't know, maybe a lot more manipulation? You shrug. Sturris pouts. I thought I already went over how different we are from genius. You did. I'm just trying to, figure you out. There's no need for you to figure out anything, Vanna. You could just ask me, preferably at a different location. One that would make you happy. That sounds good, actually. Then where would you like to go? The library. How about the library? There's a few books I've been to check out, actually. Oh, but if you aren't a fan of reading, we don't have to go. I do enjoy reading, so a visit to a library is a great suggestion, Vanna. Really? That's great, then. Why don't we head there now? Sure thing. Before we head out, allow me to pay for your coffee first. You didn't even finish it, though. Plus, you shouldn't have to pay for something you didn't even order. Yes, but shouldn't the person who set a date up be the one to pay for everything? I don't know that. I guess it depends on who you ask. If you ask me, then yes. Also, I only want you to have good memories when you look back on today. You laugh. You're spoiling me, Sturris. A well-meaning smirk plays at his lips. I haven't done enough to constitute spoiling yet, darling. Paying for your drinks is the least I can do. Sturris stands up before he can say anything else in opposition. Again, spoiling. You call after him in a light-hearted tone. The local library isn't too far, and you pretty much memorized the directions to it. Sturris is more than happy to follow your lead. The library isn't too busy today. That's fortunate. Agreed. The atmosphere is quite lovely as well, right? That's why I like coming here so much. I have time. I'll even sit down and read a bit before I borrow a book and head out. That sounds like a good idea. Why don't we look around and find something we can read together here? Yeah, sure. I usually keep my favorite genre in the corner of the library. If you need me, I'll be there. Of course, dear. So take your time browsing the books. Finger stores wouldn't mind nor rush you. Fortunately, there also seems to be some new books that have been brought in recently. Which genres do you want to check out? Romance, psycho, mystery. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to pick psychological horror. You've always been a huge fan of horror, especially psychological. Excitement course through as you all but skip over the new releases. Psychological horror always has a way of pleasantly surprising you. Big Bad Dogs by Sparrow. You carefully open the book to the story synopsis and you see what it's about. Step inside the shoes of a young woman working the night shift as a convenience store was doing her best to simply survive and get her life back on track. Her monotonous routine is eventually broken by a strange man in a motorcycle helmet that never seems to come off. Working the night shift in a convenience store is a psychological horror in and of itself, honestly. I like it. You look down at the book in your hand and smile, satisfied. I guess I should go find Cirrus now that I've found a book. Cirrus isn't easy to find. After searching for it for like hours, you might find your date in the first one, nestled between many bookshelves. It's almost like a maze. There you are. You whisper, yell once Cirrus is within earshot. You turn to face her immediately, smiling. Hello, Vanna. I'm sorry, I didn't think you would decide on a book so quickly. I was going to come to you. No, no, it's fine. I thought it'd take a bit longer, too. Cirrus gestures to the space behind him. Come, sit by me. I see you found a book. You say conversationally. Cirrus chuckles. Indeed. It looked interesting, so I picked it up. How is it so far? I can't quite say. I've only read a few lines. Would you like me to read to you? There aren't many people around right now, so we wouldn't disturb anyone. Sure, I'm curious to see what you chose. Fantastic. The sun was beginning to set. She hadn't found shelter yet. In addition to the incoming darkness, storm clouds were also rolling in. With an impatient huff, the weary woman forced her legs to move faster until they ached. She figured dealing with sore muscles would be much more tolerable than being soaked and unprotected in the dark forest she was stuck in. Last thing she wanted was to be surrounded by hungry creatures and run through the woods for her life. The thought alone made her shudder and walk, just a tad bit faster to avoid such a fate. Fortunately, it wasn't long before she came across a sizable building, one she assumed to be an abandoned castle. There were no holes in the structure, and it looked to be fairly stable. As she came closer to the castle's entrance, one thing did bother the woman, however. The castle was surrounded by murky swamp water. She had no desire to go anywhere near it. Disregarding the swamp, she pushed open the castle doors and crept into the building. Story within a story. God, God, I need to go check in the mirror. Do I look lightheaded? Honestly, with how pale I am, it was kind of hard to tell, but I assume I wasn't. The heavy door was closed behind her noisily as she sank to the floor with her back to them. She could hear the rain beginning to pelt the surrounding area, causing her to smile in relief. She had gotten inside just in time, taking a moment to look over her supplies. She figured spending the night here would be the best option. Eventually, she got up to examine the area, quickly noting the candles that were lit in various places. Strange. Why would there be lit candles in an old abandoned castle? She quickly reassured herself that it was nothing, that another squatter could have lit them before leaving. Yes, that had to be it. After all, what kind of person would live in such a secluded and murky area? It was impossible. Her reassurance almost worked. Almost. It wasn't until her foot hit something on the floor that the fortunate fantasy crumbled to dust. It was a decaying skull. Lord knows how long that's been there. Once she recovered from her temporary stupor, her panicked eyes darted around. As if they just materialized, she finally noticed all the bones littering the castle's floor in different shapes and sizes. She wasn't even sure that she managed to miss them. There were so many. Subconsciously, she began backpedaling from where she came, only to be stopped in her tracks by a smooth voice calling out, my, it's not every day that I receive a visit from a little human such as yourself. She'd tried her best to pinpoint exactly where the voices had come from, but it was difficult to see in places where the candle's light wouldn't reach. You can tell I don't read often. Leaving so soon? Why, we haven't even been introduced, the hypnotic voice practically purred. Every fiber in her being shot at her to just run. She wasn't exactly keen on sticking around to find out who she was speaking to, or rather responding even grabbing her bag, she took off toward the castle doors. However, her escape plan was quickly impeded by something large and heavy slammed down in front of her, blocking the exit. Ow. She practically had to force herself to turn around, body rigid with fear. Humans, honestly, your manners are deplorable. Not only are you trespassing in my home, but you also don't even bother to greet me. The sight before her was one she had never glimpsed in her entire life. It was a well-dressed man. Well, calling him a man would be somewhat of a stretch. He was wearing a fancy robe with baggy sleeves and jewelry that complemented his long, flowy hair. In lieu of legs, his bottom half contained only a long, wide tail resembling a snake's. Oh, so a lamia, I think. So, I I haven't read this much like all week. Sorry. Uh, yeah, her head jerked back and forth between him and the door, and she soon came to realize that it was his tail was what had blocked her escape. The creature gave her a smile, eyes hooded as his forked tongue flickered out from in between his lips. Awfully quiet, aren't we, human? Have you nothing to say for your lack of manners? For whatever reason, her brain just couldn't comprehend what she was looking at, let alone register the fact that it was speaking to her. The creature rolled his eyes before slithering closer, bending his head down until he was almost at height and staring directly into her eyes. Her body was still frozen. She couldn't bring herself to move as the creature sized her up with a thoughtful hum, tongue still flickering. Trying her hardest to swallow down her fear and apologize, she finally opened her mouth to speak. I'm sorry, I didn't know that this place belonged to someone. She was unsure what this creature's intentions were, and the various bones scattered around everywhere didn't exactly fill her with hope. Ah, so she speaks, the snake purred lowly, a grin spreading across his face. Well, I was just trying to find shelter from the rain. I didn't mean to bother you, sir. I'll just be going now. Now, there is no need for you to leave in such a hurry, he said as his fingers slipped underneath his chin, lifting her head up higher to make eye contact with him. After all, a pretty little snack has come to me of her own volition. This is an occasion that must be savored indeed. It took all of the courage in her body to knock his hand away and take a few shaky steps backward. Snack? You don't even actually plan to eat me, right? God, she wasn't even sure why she asked such a redundant question. The bones on the floor should have been answer enough. The snake creature didn't appear to be offended at all that she had slapped his hand away. If anything, he was amused, grinning at her with his fangs on full display. But of course I mean to eat you, cute little thing. It'd be such a waste to let you leave, he purred, slitted pupils dilating slightly as he drank in her horrified expression. There really no other way I could leave this place in one piece? She pleaded, hoping that even a shred of mercy lay dormant in that cold heart of his. Fortunately for her, there was none. I'm afraid not. It really is a shame. Let's just say wrong place, wrong time, human. He. The creature's tone held no remorse whatsoever. He slowly slithered toward her. Please, don't eat me. I'll do anything, please. Surprisingly, her plea actually managed to stop saying of his tracks. He appeared to be contemplating something. Anything, really? He asked, tongue flickering momentarily. Yes, anything. She'd already feel regret settling in her chest, but anything was better than being eaten, right? The creature said nothing and slid in close, fingers holding his chin as a thoughtful expression passed over his handsome face. Now that I'm getting a better look at you, your body isn't half bad, little human. He gave her a wild smile once more before voicing his final decision. If being my meal does not satisfy you, then you will be the perfect breeding stock instead. Finally. You slap a hand over Cersei's mouth before you can continue reading. Hold up a second, is it just smut? You feel him smiling behind your hand before you move it. Well, yes. I suppose it is. He had to have known when he grabbed it off the shelf. You sigh deeply. We can't read this filth out loud in public. Oh my god. Hee hee. I'll stop here for now then. If you like, I can lend you the book. You side-eye from before speaking. When you're done with it, then I will lend it to you. Well, now that we have our books, would you like to head home? Sounds good. I think one new book for now is more than enough. Agreed. Cyrus holds his hand out to you. Shall we? I'll call him pretty on the back phone. Aren't these just the same things I read last time? When you're about a block from your place, you stop walking. Cyrus stops too, and you turn to face each other. My house just around the corner, so I can make it from here. That's good to hear. Cyrus? Wait a minute. Okay, that just led me to the same ending. What do I do? Let's see if the restaurant does anything. I haven't eaten much of anything today. How about going to a restaurant? That's a good idea. I wouldn't want the lady to starve any further. Please don't take me anywhere fancy, though. Cyrus pouts, a habit of his you're beginning to notice. But you would certainly fit the dress code. It's not the dress code I'm concerned with. I just want to take things easy for a first date. Cyrus pouts, shifting to a bright smile. Happy that you consider this our first date. You mentioned it first. Indeed, I did. Before we had, allow me to pay for your coffee first. I didn't even finish it, though. In accordance with your request, Source takes you to a restaurant nearby that you've never even seen before, and you are more than familiar with the area. On the inside, the restaurant is a lot livelier than you gave it credit for. It isn't too fancy, and you're more than satisfied with Source's choice. Waiter strolls over after you both get settled in your seats. With a smile and a notepad, the young man begins taking your orders. You aren't sure what to order, so just stick with a dish that looks familiar. Now, what would you two like to drink? Give me some water. Water, please. Wine for me, thank you. Once your respective orders have been jotted down, the waiter gathers your menus and bounds off toward the kitchen. As soon as the waiter's in with earshot mirror, you squint your eyes at Sturris. I can't believe you ordered wine from a hole-in-the-wall restaurant. It's bound to be poor quality. Sturris gives a small shrug. I'll never know unless I try it. And besides, all wine must be tried. Your waiter comes back a few minutes later with your drinks, and here you both are. Your food will be out in a bit. Thank you. Take a sip of your drink. Watch it carefully as Sturris does the same. So, how is it? It's a lot stronger than I was expecting. It has a very distinct flavor. I wonder if this restaurant ferments its own wine. You sound like a wine connoisseur. I wouldn't go that far, but I would consider wine tasting a hobby of mine. Oh, really? What are some of your other hobbies? I enjoy cooking quite a bit. I received cooking lessons as payment from a few past clients. Oh, you mean the chef? Ugh, exactly. There was also a sweet grandmother who was exceptional at baking. I had her teaching me a few things as payment. How about you, Vanna? What are some of your hobbies? Writing, drawing, cooking, and physical activities. None of these. I guess the closest would be drawing. I like drawing. So that's being able to take an image and make it a reality on a canvas. Even when it's frustrating sometimes, I still think it's a good way to occupy myself, being productive and all. Is productivity an issue for you, Vanna? Sometimes, yeah, motivation is a bitch to hold on to, so when I have it, I try not to let it go. I admire your mindset as expectant of an artist. You laugh and take a bashful sip of your drink. Now you're just flattering me. I can flatter you while also being truthful, can I? Maybe. As long as it makes you smile, achieve my goal. Sorry for the wait. I hope you enjoy your meals. Lovely, thank you. Thank you. You both turn your attention to your plates. You actively have to just salivate over the food. You once again remember that you haven't eaten today, aside from a granola bar earlier in the morning. Before digging in, take a look at Stur's plate. It looks like you ordered a pasta dish with a side of shrimp. You give yourself a mental shake as the thought of asking to try a bite of this food crosses your mind. You don't want to look greedy after all. Stur's gives you a questioning look, but you just smile in avoidance. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Despite being a hole in the wall restaurant, you're pleasantly surprised by the food. Stur's recommendation turned to be a pretty good one. It is getting pretty late. After I settle the bill, I'll walk you home. But hold up a sec. Didn't you already pay for my coffee? You have to pay for my meal, too. Does that make sense if the person just set up the day to pay for everything? You recall him saying something similar when he paid for your coffee as well. You don't think that logic can be applied to both instances. Still, you can only laugh. Are you going to let me pay for anything, Service? How about this? You can pay for our next outing. If you try to steam me again, that is. You smile. Sure, but don't get your hopes up, mister. I wouldn't dream of it, my lady. Oh, there's another option. Invite Cirrus back to your place. Cirrus? Yes, Vanna? You don't normally invite a person back to your place for only one day, but it has been a while since you had someone over, and Cirrus has been nothing short of sweet. Would you like some water? I mean, you've been walking everywhere, so... I need some water! Hold on. That helped a lot. Next time I play one of these visual novels, we make sure to have grab like a bottle of water from the garage. Oh, I'd love that, Vanna. Thank you. Don't even make it 4 steps in your forward for taking Source by his jacket labels and kissing him. He returned your kiss with just as much urgency, moving in to hold on to your waist. You voiced your approval against his lips, pushing back hard against it, sure you weren't close enough. The feeling of Cirrus's tongue against yours lulls you further into a roused haze and turning your brain to mush. You can't think of anything else. You don't want to think of anything else. Vanna, the way he says your name, you could listen to it all night long. I don't want to ruin your impression of me. I don't mind if you ruin me, Vanna. So I gives you a pain look, fingers scrunching against your hips as he places distance between you both. It's clear he wants to continue, but there's something holding him back. Please don't tempt me. I can't stay the night. There's paperwork I need to start so I can officially claim you. He cuts himself short, then breathes in slowly. Document you, as my client, keep track of your wishes and payments thus far. You give him a playful smile and another kiss. I commend your work ethic and self-control, Cyrus. He shakes his head in direct disagreement with your words. You shouldn't praise me for that, because once everything is documented, I fully intend to take you up on your gracious offer. He suddenly grabs your hips, dragging you against his body once more. He let out an embarrassing squeak of his name, squirming but not shying away from his touch. Cyrus groans, the sound causing your stomach to flip pleasantly. Oh, I can't wait to see what other cute noise I could pull out of you. Okay, okay. He then clears his throat and lets you go, much to your disappointment. Fortunately, I really should be going now. Aww. Let's exchange numbers, Cyrus. Most of my clients tend to favor two-way contact by the phone. Once numbers have been said, you waste no time in kissing Cyrus one last time. His smile fills you with a fervently sought-after warmth. Warmth that overrides everything else. The feeling of your lips on mine shall follow me all the way home, my dear Vanna. I hope you realize what you've done. You haven't done anything yet. I just gave you something to remember me by. For the night. He chuckles. As if I could forget a woman like you. Send me a message when you get home? Of course. Don't lose any sleep over me. Yes, we will have much to do tomorrow. My lovely, lovely Vanna. Ending 2. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay, not considering the last visual novel I played, I was expecting one ending to be good and one ending to be bad, or like it just to be morally gray between the two. But both of these endings are good. Oh, Vanna, I wonder what you'll give me, how much you'll give me, before you decide to give yourself to me entirely. Hee hee. I cannot wait to find out. Credits. I don't want to listen to the credits. Thank you for playing. Right. There are a few things in our contract I forgot to mention, but they're inconsequential to your happiness in the end, and that rises above all else, even another human's life. Okay, so it did say that there was an Easter egg after I found both endings, so I'm gonna go see if I can find it.